Burger King heating up its menu with a new 1-pound burger described as the spiciest meat wall.
Love it.
It includes 4 patties and 2 slices of cheese. But what 2 slices? Why not make it 5 or 6? But what makes it so hot is the garlic flakes spiced with powder from Japan's spiciest golden pepper. These are one of those golden peppers that if you're making one of those like HelloFresh meals, they say to wash your hands immediately after handling.
It's that bad, huh?
Yeah, it's also topped with onions and a homemade hot sauce. Oh, more hot stuff. Customers who order the burger will get a special sticker saying, "I did it." Right now, it's only being offered in Japan.
So this begs a lot of questions. We know we are knee deep in the chicken wars.
Yeah.
You know, every one of these big fast food restaurants is rolling out their best chicken sandwich.
Sure.
In the chicken wars. Now, I don't remember a Burger King story about the chicken wars. So if Burger King is not involved, this is brilliant. They're saying, go chicken wild. Do whatever you want with chickens. We're going to double down on a meat wall. We're going to build a wall of meat. And while you guys are over here dealing with that, we know who we are. We don't have to change and pivot and get involved in your stupid, fake chicken war. We're going to build a wall of meat. Brilliant.
All right.
If they haven't rolled out a chicken sandwich recently.
Correct.
If they have, then they're just doing all sorts of stuff.
Of course they are.
Now, see what happened here? A couple of things happened. Let's just review. Ethan cut off the audio before we get to the butthole lyric, which is the payoff. Okay, so that's number 1. And then about midway, not even midway, about a sentence into this chicken meat wall speech that I'm delivering, he completely checks out and has his finger on the trigger ready to leave the segment. So I guess we have to ask you, what's wrong?
Oh, there's nothing wrong.
Did you have tickets to Comic-Con and found out you couldn't go?
No. I am now numb to your analyzing everything backwards, forwards, upside down, left, right, up and down. So now I've checked out.
But you're supposed.
I don't care what I'm supposed to
listen,
do.
if we're
you're still talking.
If we're off the clock, you have every right to check out, but you're supposed to check in. All right, and check-in time is at 9:03. That's right now.
I checked in at 5:30 this morning. And right now,
you're supposed to go. Oh, let me. You know what,
No.
Lou? Let me look up this chicken war Burger King thing and see if they do have a chicken sandwich.
No, the line has to be drawn.
Yeah, does it?
And I've just drawn the line.
You drawn the line at chickens,
unless you want to come over here and drive the bus.
First of all, I don't even know what I was going to say about.
And we're
first
still
of all.
talking.
I don't know what I was going to say about first of all, but no, I don't. And it's the short answer. Want to drive the bus?
Let's move it. Let's move it.
You're bus driving lately. You'd have been fired as a bus driver a long time ago because you got us in 17 hideous wrecks.
The series is a do-it-all.
Got the Japanese government asking that Chinese officials no longer give annual COVID-19 swab tests.
They're asking, please stop swabbing our anuses.
Right.
Continue.
Embassy officials say some Japanese people reported great psychological pain from having to undergo this form of testing. China began these swab tests as a way to combat potential coronavirus surges, claiming that viral traces remain in, the fecal matter. It isn't known how many Japanese citizens have been swabbed, but the U.S. has also requested that the test no longer be given to American diplomats. Why haven't we? I've never heard of these before. Why is it just exclusive to China?
They hate us because they ain't us.
I see what you did there.
Corey from Oxford. My husband had the COVID, and they stuck this nasty thing all the way up his nose with hard bristles. Maybe that's why they're using the swab in the butt in China. My question for you, Ethan, is Japan is the one complaining about this. Are they profiling Japanese passengers only and swabbing their anuses? Or is it a situation that all anuses are checked?
You just like to say that, don't you?
No, I just want...
you said it 18 times.
Because then we have a racial profiling story on our hands, and I can't be clear as to what we're talking about,
I don't have enough information, factual information, to make that determination.
Because it's not fair if China, is just letting, a Swedish person walk by without an anal probe,
19.
you know,
Yeah.
and then a Japanese person comes and they go, whoa, hold on, we're going to have to swab your anus. You understand?
20 times.
I have audio from one of the Chinese airports, believe it or not. This is audio of someone being pulled aside, exclusive to I-95.
Are you going to play the audio?
Yeah, they're being pulled aside to have their anus swabbed.
Oh, look at that ass. Butter. I want to see that ass. Turn around. I want to get a look at that ass.
All right, that's fine.
You missed the best part, as usual.
On purpose.
As usual.
All right, British animated TV show Peppa Pig is getting its own theme park in Orlando.
Did you change the order of these?
Yep.
All right.
It'll be built
Florida, you say?
Yeah, it'll be built at Legoland Florida Resort and should open next year. Now, this will be the first Peppa Pig theme park ever built. Television show is shown in 40 different languages across the world.
It's not good enough to hold its own. It's too much of a niche, demographic. Like my daughter, she was into Peppa Pig for a while.
What exactly is that's like a cartoon pig character?
Yeah, it's a show thing. You know, so I says to her recently, what's up with Peppa Pig? And she said, I don't like Peppa Pig anymore. How are you going to run a theme park when children can so easily dispose of this character,
Is it a shady character?
No, it's just a pig, a stupid, stupid British pig, We learned this morning that John Esposito III looks like, it doesn't sound like he announced officially. Oh, he is. He announced he's running for, no. He says he's toying with the idea.
Right. That's what I saw.
He will not seek re-election in city council. So John Esposito. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
So the Democrats, Roberto Alves, who we've had on the show multiple times,
Correct,
has announced that he's running.
Right.
As a Democrat.
Yes.
Esposito now will run as a Democrat.
Yes.
We don't know. Cavo's a Republican. We don't know what he's going to do. He hasn't made an announcement yet.
No.
So the field is a little wishy-washy, flippy-floppy.
Yes.
But so far, of the field, we have 2 out of the 3 candidates in our pocket where they belong.
Correct.
So we got to get this Esposito in our pocket, or this power that we have in the Hat City could
when you say
slip.
Okay, that could be
out of our
misconstrued.
hand.
That could be misconstrued. In our pocket. What does that mean?
I don't want it to be misconstrued, so let me clarify.
Okay.
We, the Ethan and Lou Show,
Yeah.
have a significant amount of power in Danbury and make a lot of the decisions that affect your daily life.
That's totally a lie, but keep going.
And when I say we, I mean me runs Danbury. And
I get you.
there is a puppet regime in place at all times. First it was Boughton, now it's Cavo, and we'll see what happens.
I'm sorry I said anything about it.
Going forward, we'll see what has happened and what will have happened.
All right.
It's all a big money grab.
It's all a big conspiracy theory.
Yeah, it's all your representatives playing golf with the CEOs of these companies and going, hey, how can we get John Q. A-hole to give us another $4,000 every year?
Or it's what the guy who called us earlier this morning was that it's how crack addicts get their crack.
John Q. A-hole, I think, is my new name for the show.
No, should be the new name for you.
That's my new screen name, which I don't know if it beats Lou Cardia's.
Yeah.
Louis Pubes is his new screen name.
I like that name.
A lot of innovative screen name work happening on the Ethan and Lou Show this morning.
Oh, yeah.
A Spanish rapper is facing charges for allegedly hacking off his roommate's for video views. What have I been telling you about the video views? What lengths people will go to for these video views? It's not worth it. The Independent reports Aaron Beltran made a deal with Andrew Breach for payment based on how much the video was viewed. Beltran is said to have taken, let's say, a knife and sliced off on camera. And then things went horribly wrong, but surgeons were still able to reattach, the unit and made it fully functional again. This is no way to live our lives, folks. Let's pull it together, okay? This is not okay. And what's up with the rap game these days, We didn't cut off in my day. If you had, let's say you had a rap beef, right? Tupac and Biggie, great example.
You just shoot somebody.
You know what Tupac did?
Yeah.
He slept with Biggie's wife.
All right.
Take money. Huh? Because I your you.
Oh,
That's what he said. Take money.
I have some questions. First question is, are we now a hip-hop station?
Well, of all the things
Second question
for you
is...
to take offense to lately.
Second question is to... Are we still on your Twitter?
Twitter! At Lou Milano 12, yeah.
That's okay. Do you want to hear stories about having someone's, sliced off? Is that something you want to hear on Missed Headlines?
I don't know.
I'm asking the Twitter
You're doing
audience.
market research.
Yes, I'm doing market research because to me, it's very uncomfortable and it's not funny.
Sure, but what you took the most offense to was the hip-hop angle that I took. That's what I find interesting. And
Because we're not a hip-hop station.
to answer your question... It's just in. I-95 has flipped to hip-hop and R&B.
We have not. Don't listen to Lou.
Oh, yes. We're blazing the hottest jams.
That's right.
Hey,
coming up after the spot break, we'll get into some Biggie Smalls, okay? So stay right there.
Yeah, I heard he's the illest. Hey, we've heard of two random drunk drivers crashing into each other before.
Yeah.
But this is 50% crazier than that. At around 2:45 a.m. on Sunday in Mount Pleasant, Wisconsin, 3 drunk drivers all randomly crashed into one another.
Really?
If you want further information on that, I don't know, Google it.
All right. Well,
That's a story down.
that was valuable.
Wasn't it, though? Doesn't it make you want to just shout?
Makes me what? We're talking about a true hero here.
That's what it is. We got a hero story.
Firefighters responded to a call for a truck on fire inside a local business on Saturday. Fortunately, a manager of the business is a firefighter and was able to defuse the crisis before the fire got out of hand. Now, the Danbury Fire Department was already on their way to the fire. This is at 7:46 a.m. in the loading dock of Omaha Beef on Maple Avenue.
Okay.
When manager Jason Street had his own idea.
Now, Jason is from New Milford and a Northville volunteer fireman.
That's right. He's the assistant fire chief of the Northville Fire Department, New Milford. He jumped in the company's forklift, lifted the rear of the burning truck up and out of the enclosed loading dock, and then dragged it out of the building into the roadway. Crews from the Danbury Fire Department quickly extinguished the truck upon their arrival. No injuries reported. A true hero.
That
could have been horrible.
Yeah. He's like John McClane from Die Hard. You're right. That could have been. That's why he's a hero, because we don't know what could have happened. The building could have burned to the ground.
You know what they call that?
People could have been hurt.
Lou, they call that quick thinking.
Quick thinking.
Quick thinking.
We're never going to be
using your noggin.
We'll never be accused of quick thinking.
No.
In conjunction with bravery.
Never.
All right. Way to go, Jason.
Yeah.
Jason, what? It's Jason, right?
Jason Street.
Jason Street.
Yeah.
Way to go. Cool name, too.
I know.
Look at you. They call him Jace, right?
Probably.
I don't even know the guy, but they call him Jace. He sounds like a Jace.
Street. Isn't there a TV character? Last name is Street, or maybe it was a book I read. No matter.
One of the kids from that miraculous Newtown football play was named Street. That comes to mind because when they had that amazing play a couple years back that they won the ESPY award for or whatever.
Yeah.
I remember saying Street is a cool football name.
I think it was a character in Friday Night Lights that aired on Friday night. Okay, let's move to the Catalytic Converter story.
All right.
Okay.
Now you got me on Friday Night Lights.
Okay, don't do that now.
Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose, Jason Street, Friday Night Lights, you're right. He was the quarterback that got injured. Boom.
That's why I thought about it.
Okay.
Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose.
We got a guy who doesn't want to talk about this at all. Apparently wants to talk about catalytic converters.
Fine.
The hot story of the morning.
Yo, I-95, Ethan and Lou.
Hey, guys. I work for a repair shop in Mayapack, and we have the cerebral palsy of Westchester vans that we work with. And during COVID, they have a couple different locations. Each van has 2 cats on it. They stole 20 cats total, so 10 vans.
Wait, I'm confused.
People stole cats?
Yeah, the catalytic converters.
Oh, I got you.
In the industry, we just call them cats.
Ah, okay.
So this is what but you're in New York. What are the emissions like in New York? Because here in Connecticut, very strict. I don't know the emissions testing in New York.
They're even worse than they are in Connecticut.
Really?
So believe it or not, actually, a couple of these vans were in Waterbury. and a lot of the cats that were being stolen were coming out of Waterbury.
So do you buy into my theory that, like, hey, the government is in bed with Big Cat, trying to dig into our pockets here, and they're golfing and living high on the hog, and we're running around stealing catalytic converters so we can drive legally?
No, it's crackheads buying into buy crack.
Oh. All right, it's crackheads. There you go.
That's really what it is. They take them to junkyards. They get, $200, $300, $400 for them. That's a big score for them.
But what I'm suggesting is this black market only exists because of the ridiculous price of these catalytic converters and the fact that all of us need them. We must have them to get our car certified and on the road.
I mean, you got to blame the federal government on that. That's been going on since the 70s. That they put those.
I know, and I do blame them. I blame them because they say they do this under the guise of we're protecting the environment, but it has nothing to do with the environment. They don't care about the environment.
You have to ask them, but they do filter out the exhaust pretty good. It chokes down the car, and you don't get the efficiency that you should, because if you don't have the cat on it, it does make the car run a little bit better. But they've gotten really good.
I'm going with our caller on this one and rejecting Lou's reason.
I also, what he brings up, I like this point.
Yes.
Could I technically, I put the catalytic converter on to pass emissions, and then I take it off to juice up the horsepower? You could do that?
You can, but the car's not going to run as well. You have these devices called tuners, because if the car is expecting to have that cat there, so it's going to use the fuel a certain way or put a certain amount of fuel in there to optimize that. So if you don't have that there, typically it runs poorly. You'd need a tuner to do that.
Speaking of cats, I would like to put, what is the car I want? I want to put a Hellcat, a new Hellcat engine in a 67 GTO. Your thoughts?
Much like the story that I called about a long time ago when the guy stole a Hellcat and hit everything but, including the telephone pole, Loose is fast, and more than likely, Lou, you're going to be out of control.
Yeah, that's right. Excellent Days of Thunder reference. Thank you, brother. We appreciate you.
No problem. Thank you.
Good call. I liked it.
There you go, Ethan. Loose is fast, and on the edge, you're out of control.
Yeah.
Some bitch.
Okay.
Yeah, well, the son of a bitch just slammed into me.
No, he didn't slam into you. He didn't bump you. He didn't nudge you. He rubbed you. And rubbing, son, is racing.
I like that caller.
He knows his stuff.
He's unimpressed with everything I say.
Correct.
Everything I hit him with.
That's right. That's why I love this call.
I've become accustomed to people being very impressed with me. And he's not going for it.
Not at all.
He's got his own crack-related theories that have nothing to do with mine. And I get the GTO and the Firebird confused. I want the Firebird bodies.
Well, I'm jumping on his bandwagon.
The difference between the GTO and the Firebird, according to, on the line.
Correct.
The engine was the secondary carburetor throttle linkage had a restrictor which prevented the rear barrels from opening completely. Adjusting the linkage could allow full carburetor operation, resulting in identical engine performance. But I'm already putting a new engine in it. I don't want the engine from the 67. I want a brand new Hellcat, and I want the Firebird body from the 67. You understand?
No.
And I might have to upgrade the chassis.
Okay.
So it doesn't, get all too loose on me.
I don't want that to happen.
I don't want it like noodles.
Yeah.
I love eating noodles, but I don't want to be doing $120 down the highway.
I can't blame you.
Have the whole friggin' structure of the car fly all over the place.
What in holy hell are you talking about?
This is part 2 of our train wars conversation. We told former Danbury Mayor Mark Boughton about an article that was written about him, and he reacted. Oh, yeah. So the guy hates the Maybrook line train proposal, and he says it's a waste of $1 million, and he talks about you and how you said it's going to shave an hour off of people's commute. He did some calculations, and he claims it's going to take 10 minutes off of people's commutes. His name is Jim Cameron. He wrote an op-ed piece for the Connecticut Mirror. Your thoughts?
I did read that piece, by the way, and apparently, everybody's an expert, everybody's an engineer, but, I actually listen to the engineers and the experts who have looked at this and know that it'll save, whether it's 45 minutes or half an hour or an hour, whatever, a significant time off your commute. I think that I'm not really sure. This guy, he's against everything. He just wrote another piece being against something else. He's just a miserable person, and I don't care what he thinks. Who cares?
Right.
The fact of the matter is that we know here in Western Connecticut that linking downtown to Southeast and then on into New York City is a financial home run, windfall, economic development masterpiece that will forever change this area. And anybody who doesn't understand that doesn't understand commuting and how to commute. And just because you happen to ride around on a train once in a while, or you're a trainophile, that doesn't mean you know how to develop a local economy.
See, now we wouldn't have gotten this out of the former mayor if he was still mayor.
Oh, this article appeared in the Connecticut Mirror last week.
Yeah.
And had I not read it, no one would have read it. Let's just make that clear.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
If you Google Danbury right now, it's up there,
Right.
in the queue on the
queue,
Google.
okay.
It's trending, and it's only trending because I talked about it. And
Well, of course.
I put it in an article
Goes
that
without
publishes
saying,
today,
yeah.
and because of the response that the former mayor had to it on our show.
Correct.
So there's this guy. I don't know anything about this guy. I don't have a bone to pick with him.
Yeah.
But I do want to double down and say that again, that had I not talked about it, no one would have read it.
Right.
He writes, and this is the headline.
Yeah.
The Maybrook Rail Line Study is a waste of $1 million. This published on February 23rd, which was what? That's Tuesday of last week.
Correct.
On Thursday, we had Danbury Mayor Joe Cavo on the show.
Yeah.
We brought it up to him. He defended the rail line study. And there's an article about that that's going to hit tomorrow. And then Friday, Mark came on the show. We're going to play you Mark's comments in about 15, 20 minutes. But let me just tell you what this rail line is.
Please refresh my memory.
So there used to be what are you doing? Are you working on something that's pertains to the show right now?
Actually, yes.
Good. Okay. I was just checking because you had that uber focused. I'm either shopping on Amazon look or I'm working on something for the show.
No, although my focus is very strong on the Amazon shopping.
I know. So there used to be, or there is a train line that exists that used to run cargo, right?
Okay.
To and from Brewster, Danbury, back and forth. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. So one of Mark's big plans when he was in office in City Hall in Danbury was to bring this rail line back, revive it, but to change the rail cars into passenger cars. And this would save money, or time, that is, for folks. And this is Mark's contention. It would save, and he's given this estimate before, about an hour for folks commuting to the city from our area.
Is this distracting?
Very.
Okay.
So, as it works now, if you live in Danbury and you need to commute to the city by train, the way I understand it is you go to Norwalk, you make a connection, then down to New York.
Yes.
Well, this would be Danbury to Brewster. You make the connection, you go down to New York.
Yeah.
So this guy, Jim Cameron, who, according to Mark, has been very critical of him on other plans, writes, anyone who follows this column knows I'm a train guy. I've always been a supporter of mass transit and continue to be. But sometimes I wonder just where the state's priorities are when they chose to waste $1 million on yet another crazy study. So that's the phase it's in right now.
See, and I didn't know Jim Cameron was, in the meetings at City Hall about this. I did, he should have told us.
Well, it's in the study phase now.
Yeah.
Right? And the study that he's referring to costs $1 million. So that's what he's saying. Now, to be clear, if we're hearing correctly from Danbury Mayor Joe Cavo, the $1 million is not being spent by the state of Connecticut. Rather, New York is spending the $1 million on this study.
Right.
Because they contend, the state does, both states do, that this will be a beneficial thing for the greater Danbury area and for Brewster, New York.
Correct.
All right. So he says this time it's a study of the Maybrook line, a 14-mile single track of rusting rail running west from Danbury to Brewster, New York and beyond. Metro North used to run their equipment, not passenger trains, over their Croton shops via the line, but little else. Now there's going to be a study, yes, for $1 million of converting the line for passenger trains. The idea was pushed heavily by former Danbury Mayor Mark Boughton, who promised it could shave an hour off of commuting time to Grand Central. Oh, really? And then, and you guys can go read this, and again, you're welcome, Jim. He breaks down why he believes this will not shave an hour off your commute, but if he's correct, no more than 10 minutes, he says.
Okay. It's somewhere, I'm going to tell you this right now. It's somewhere in between 10 minutes and an hour. most likely it's 30 to 45 minutes of time saved on your commute. And he's overlooking the fact that when we initially talked to Mayor Boughton, that it also will do some good things for the city of Danbury. Because hopefully people will get off the train and they'll shop, they'll have dinner, lunch, whatever the case may be, and will boost Danbury's economy. Now, I wasn't in the meetings. Don't get me wrong here.
Sure.
But that's another reason why this would be good for the city of Danbury.
Well, here's what...
Not just the commuting time.
Yeah, and that's kind of what Danbury Mayor Joe Cavo was saying to us when we talked on Thursday. He said there's things above and beyond the commute time that people would benefit from. And he also said, hey, it's a study. Let's see, the study's happening. Let's see what they bring back.
These kind of studies happen all the time.
They do.
First, you have to find out the legitimacy of what they're trying to do before you spend all the money. Okay, I'm going to give you, the $4 million to do the railroad line. Let's do it. Well, we don't know yet what the pros and cons are.
Right.
That's why the study.
And it's easy when we look at these dollars and cents. We do it all the time.
Yeah.
So what he's doing, I'm not making fun of because all of us do it. We see the kind of money that the government spends on studies like this, and we go, we just have it to throw away. They're burning my tax dollars. I get the point he's trying to make, but he really went in on Mark here. Mm-hmm. So coming up on the show, we are going to play you what Mark had to say about this article when we brought it up to him on Friday.
He was straight on, wasn't he?
Oh,
straight on with you.
Yamahama.
Okay, cool.
You do not want to miss this. Be late for work.
Really?
Train Wars 2021.